Hello everyone and welcome back to Thornton Farm. It's quite dark outside, we're going to wait for the morning, but just wanted to quickly tell you what we're going to be doing today. Well basically, wow it is dark, well that's weird, when you turn your torch off it puts the barn light on. Like a disco yard. No, yeah, with that out of the way, today we're going to be doing, well we're going to clamp the silage pit first of all, very quick job. It'll literally take about 10 seconds I think, it's almost there. But after that, we do need to work on the soil mod as well. For this map, I've really neglected it, and I think we have 2 or 3 fields which need to be done. So somehow, we're going to have to get a sprayer and do those fields. Other than that, there might be some other jobs that need to be done, but we'll find out later on. And there we go, it's morning. It's very early in the morning, but we've got the John Deere 7930, 7930. This is becoming quite a big thing actually, the way I pronounce these. I would usually call it like a 7930, but I think some people call it a 7930, not sure. I don't think it really matters, but some people do get a bit particular about it. But yeah, this is almost done. This is 97% compacted, so we'll just go backwards and forwards a few more times, and it'll be done. Much quicker than expected actually. We've got the option to have extra weights on here. I thought they were on, but no, they seem to have removed themselves. But that is ready to cover over, get it fermenting, and this is going to be the money for this farm. We really do need it. I don't know if it'll be the same for FS17 where you can just quickly get money like that, but it is quite handy. Although it isn't totally realistic, it is handy. So this tractor is rented for another 6 hours and 44 minutes. I would use it today, but we need to do the spraying, and it's a bit too big for a sprayer. The compaction is going to be quite bad. So unfortunately, I'm going to park it up here, but I will use it again before the rent expires. So put it there. And what we really need is a smaller tractor. Now this might be the best tractor we have. The row crop tyres actually, we don't have any, so it does make it quite hard. Ideally, we need to get another tractor, like we have on Naveswell Farm, with the row crop tyre function. And this is the first field we need to do. It's already shooting, but as you can see, there's quite a lot of weeds in there. So we desperately need to spray herbicide on this field, and also field number 4. And actually, yeah, just remember what we're going to do for the rest of the episode. We need to fertilise and plant fields number 13 and 11. That's quite a big job, so I'll most likely do most of it off screen, but certainly we can make a good start today. So let's go and get a sprayer, if we can afford one. That is the problem. We can extend the loan, but I don't like doing that, because we actually have enough money, technically, in the grain which is in storage. But let's go over to the store anyway and see what we can do. What I would really love is a self-propel one. For this map it is required really, but the cost of it will be quite high, so it's going to be quite tricky to start off with. But definitely, when we can definitely afford a self-propelled sprayer, we're going to get one, no doubt about it. We'll definitely take a look at the price, but I can imagine it being like £200,000 for a self-propelled sprayer. So chances are we won't be getting one today. Let's just take a look. Whoa, £245,000, and that is £310 in maintenance per day. It's very expensive, but it will be required eventually. For today's video, we're going to have to just go for a standard, you know, like a mounted sprayer, which is still £29,000, and I've actually used this sprayer quite a bit. So what I'm going to do, I probably should have done this before the video, but I'm going to go on a mod site and I'm going to try and find a different one, a smaller one, more in our price range, so we don't have to take as much money out in the loan. Right, so I've been on a mod site and I've just found a really decent sprayer. I believe it was converted from FS11. It might even be the original base game sprayer, but I still want to go for it. It is the Monsoon Triton, I think it is, Triton 500. It's £7,570, so it's in our price range, just about, very tight. But we're going to have to sell some grain, I think, when we get back. Yes, I recognise this from FS11, and it's nice to have it back in FS15. So we're going to put it onto the John Deere, a perfect size for our tractor here. And we're going to do fields number 4 and 15. It won't take very long because they're very small fields, and the sprayer is still quite big. It's a decent size. So we're going to get it done, and then we're going to sell some grain, and we're going to buy a bigger seed drill for field 11 and 13, because they're big fields, and they'll take quite a while to do. So we'll get that lined up just there, and we'll get it attached. Let's go and fill it up. This will be the expensive part. I think we're okay for traffic today. Not too busy. And really, I don't think I could ask for a better sprayer for this size tractor. And what I'm going to have to do is check once again our reference sheet for soil mod. I need to see what herbicide is best for a field of oats. Both fields are oats, so it does make it quite easy, but I need to check the correct herbicide. There's A, B and C, so it keeps it relatively simple, but I still have to go for the correct one. So in a second, when we fill up, I'm going to check the chart and go for the correct one. It's just over here. I probably should have gone the other way actually. I thought it was nearer the other shed there, but it's actually located here. So we can fill it up straight away, that's no problem at all. We can change the herbicide later on. And just looking at the reference sheet, we have got oats, and you can use herbicide B or C. I use herbicide C quite a lot, so I'm going to go with herbicide B today. And to change it, you press, I think you press O, but not when refilling, clearly. The price is horrific, but it's one of those things, it has to be done. So just flicking through them here, we're going to go with a double dose of B. And that should be perfect for our crops. I will just double check to make sure they are oats. I'm pretty sure they are. I don't want to be putting the wrong crop herbicide on here. Yep, that's fine. Both are oats, so let's get cracking. Really expensive though. Over £7,000 just to fill up the sprayer once. That is expensive. I suppose it would come down to how fast the sprayer empties. If it empties really fast, then we're going to be struggling. Okay, so into the field. Unfortunately, we don't have row crop tyres, as you already know. One day, I'm hoping to. But we're going to have to start off like this. Right, so I think it's actually taking the same particle system as FS11. The spray isn't quite as dense as FS15. But I'm sure the field is going to really benefit from this, as long as I stay on track. It's quite a hard field to do actually, because it's so small. You're going to be putting quite a lot of tram lines in here. This is the really bad bit, with all the weeds growing in. But this will soon kill them off. And the field is really going to benefit from this. It needs to be done. And this is the final time we're going to have to go up the field. It's so quick to do. The small fields are good, but they take quite a bit of work still. And there we go. So we are done. Got to be careful not to overlap too much when going off the field. Yeah, there's a lot of tramlines in here, but it's okay. I mean, it's actually not destroying the crop too much, as you can see. In fact, yeah, that's weird. It doesn't seem to be destroying it as much as it does with the other crops like oilseed rape. But yep, it's done, so let's fold the sprayer up and move on to field number 4. It's a handy compact sprayer, this. So that is our, is it called a lagoon? The slurry lagoon? Not too sure. But yes, it's back there. We really do need to concentrate on the animals. That's something which we're not doing at all. As soon as we have the money, we will do, because we're kind of desperate. Now I'm going to have to fill up the sprayer even more, because 50% is not going to be enough for field 4. So it's expensive, but we should be able to get the money back in no time. There we go, so expensive. It's painful to see. But as soon as we sell our wheat and barley, we'll have plenty of money again. And then after that we'll have the fermented silage, which will be worth even more. And that'll be going to the BGA. So yeah, although it looks bad at the moment, it's not going to stay bad. This farm will soon be in profit. It's hard to believe, but it will be. We also have the orchard, which needs to be harvested. But we also need money for a trailer. For that we need to use the Krone trailer. So everything requires money. It's so annoying. Now this is going to be the tricky part, because we need to kind of keep it in the lines of the trees. Hopefully the sprayer is going to be a good width for this. If it's like a really frustrating width, then it will be very annoying. But what can you do? There's not really a solution to it. So far, so good. That was quite a good guess. It's like a perfect fit. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm going to do the headland last. I think that is the best thing to do here. It's obviously not an ideal situation, but yeah, it's going to have to be last, I think. Field number 4 is surprisingly big. When you first look at it on the minimap, it seems relatively small, especially compared to field 13. But no, when you're actually working in here, it's quite a big job. I have to admit, although it's actually worked out quite well in the end, I think next time I will use GPS, which I'm sure a lot of you will be delighted to hear. Yeah, you can see it isn't great. I mean, the sprayer boom is going through some of the trees, but it can't be avoided without setting it out correctly with GPS next time. So I give in. I will be using GPS next time I do this. It just seems to be the logical thing to do, because clearly my estimations were way off. Almost there, getting very close to the end. Again, quite a few weeds here, but this should all kill it off. And it's going to be close, but we might just about have enough fertiliser or chemicals in the sprayer. It's a real habit I've got into. I always call it fertiliser even when it isn't. I mean herbicide. I'm so used to just the standard fertiliser in FS15, like you couldn't before herbicide at all. So yes, just still getting used to the saw mod. So now it's very close, but we're not going to have enough. That is now empty. So I'm going to head back to the yard, refill it, finish off the job, and then I'm going to sell a load of grain off screen so we can buy a bigger seed drill at the end of this episode. Okay, so we are refilling once again. This is going to be quite tough on the bank balance. It already is. £13,000 in debt. It's not exactly great. We're going to stop that straight away. We're going to make sure that we always have enough money in the bank account so we don't go into negative figures again. Once this is filled, we'll head over to the field, and then it's sell time. Right, so I'm doing the headland because it is actually the headland we're doing at the top. As far as I'm aware, this is stuck in this position, this boom. You can't higher or lower it. So I was going to lift it up above the trees, but you can't do, which is a bit unfortunate. But when this is done, then all of our spraying for the next few days is completed. You'll be pleased to hear. As for the big fields, I think I'll be doing that off screen anyway, because you can only have so many minutes of spraying in a video before it becomes boring. That is where we finished off, so let's join up. And then down the other side again. I have to say, it looks quite messy, but without using a bigger sprayer, I can't really see a solution to it, because you've got to turn, and obviously you've got to spray without missing anything. So yeah, I'm guessing it's just because it's quite a small sprayer. But that, I think, is it. When we get to the bottom here, we will fold it up, take it back to the yard, and then get the trailer on. What I'd like to do is use the bigger John Deere for towing the trailer. It might seem a bit unnecessary, but as it's not even ours and we're paying for the rent on it, we might as well use it. So I'm just going to park this in here. We'll switch the engine off and let's head over to our bigger John Deere. That's all I call it because I always forget the name of it. It seems so unprofessional, that, but I'm going to have to practice the names of the John Deere tractors, otherwise it's going to seem ridiculous. Like with a Massey Ferguson, I'm absolutely fine. I know pretty much all of the model numbers, but when it comes to John Deere, I'm really not that good. I'm okay with New Holland. I'm okay with those, but yeah, JDs, they just seem pretty hard. It's this one over here anyway. You'll be shouting at the screen saying it's the... and then I'll be telling you that it is the 7930. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's get it attached to the AS trailer, the Marson trailer, and let's get selling. There it is. It's not a very big trailer, so this will take me a while, hence the reason why I'm doing it off screen. But I think, as this great demand seems like it's never going to come, I'm just going to sell it all. We don't even have that much, and now we've got some silage, it doesn't really matter so much anyway, because that is going to be our main source of income. So 71,530 litres, that is what we're going to sell today. It should be enough, hopefully it is. If not, what we'll do is we'll wait until tomorrow. I will wait for the silage to have fermented, and then we'll sell that as well. At which point we'll be able to afford a much bigger seed drill. But I'm heading to the store. See you in a second. Here we go, first load. I wonder if this will pull us out of debt. I doubt it, because the price isn't that good. But when we've sold it all, we should be doing okay. It's never going to be good though. And judging by the speed those numbers are going down, we're not even going to be pulled out of debt with this. Nope, so that was pretty bad. £11,809 from there. So, yep, the rest of it's going to be sold, so see you in a split second. Right, so that is all done, and yes, looking at the money, it wasn't really worth it. I thought we had more than that, but clearly the price was so bad that it wasn't even really worth selling. I probably should have waited for great demand, but we just couldn't really do that. So, it looks like, because we're definitely not going to be able to afford a decent drill for that, we're going to have to wait until the silage is fermented. Tomorrow, we will be selling it. I haven't really decided the best way of selling it yet. I know you can use the conveyor belt, but we've done that before. So I might just go for a wheel loader. It depends, but that's going to cost more money, which isn't ideal. But on the plus side, there is quite a lot here. Now it is quite evenly distributed, so it isn't very tall, but yeah, nonetheless, there is still quite a bit in here. I think it's about 160,000 litres, which would equate to quite a bit of money. So I'm looking forward to it. Now you might be asking, why don't we choose this drill? We can do, and we might do in the end, I'm not too sure. But it's just not that big. It's going to take forever. So I would love to use a big seed drill. It's been a while since I've used one properly. We are going to be doing field number 13, I think, unless I decide later on. I think we're going to be doing it as sunflowers, because I want to do some multi-fruit and go down really well. So sunflowers in either 13 or 11. The other one would be canola, I would have thought. Unless I do another multi-fruit. I'll have to make sure I use the correct drill though. The other one is rye, which I don't think I've ever done before. And to be honest, I don't even know how you do it. But yes, rye is another crop which we can do. And I think we might do. I think we might. One of the seed drills you have to cultivate first. It's probably the one we need, which is a bit of a disadvantage. But if we have to get another cultivator, then fair enough, we will do. But that is it for today. Until tomorrow when we get a big cash boost. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.